Hi everybody, hello, and we're live. Here I am at the DFL in Olmsted County headquarters at the 1500 building, located conveniently behind Silver Lake Grocery Store on North Broadway in Rochester, Minnesota. Mayor Norton is again in Washington, D.C., again traveling. She has been a guest at the White House, and Joseph Biden has presented her with awards and accolades to add to Mayor Norton's 3 pages of awards and accolades. She's also attended, as by special invitation, Mayor Norton has attended Joseph Biden's State of the Union address. So here we have again another example of how the DFL and Olmsted Party operates, and you gotta hand it. I mean, you gotta give credit where credit is due. The DFL is united from the local level to the national and the international level with their overseas friends and allies as well, but you know, that doesn't touch the public concern so much, does it? Here we have Mayor Norton in solidarity with Joseph Biden and the White House, his White House. I mean, nobody's surprised at this point. You know, she wants everyone to think she's nonpartisan. We know that's not the case, right? She's anything but nonpartisan, but still she can say that she's nonpartisan and the mayor's position's nonpartisan. Also, the DFL candidate, Mr. Randy SCHUBRING, who's a great ally of Mark Dayton, Governor Dayton, as well as Governor Walz, both appointed him to sit at the airport conference, the airport commission, and then there's other, he ran in St. Paul for city council president as a DFL. He primaried against, I guess it was Kim Hicks, and he lost against Kim Hicks. And the DFL is unified. The DFL stands together. They back each other up. The Democrat Party is completely in alliance with itself at all levels, unified. So they run everything from top to bottom, bottom to top. So if you like the way things are going in Minnesota, if you like the way things are going in Rochester, hey, go ahead and vote for a Democrat, because you're going to get more of the same. And I just want to say the Democrat headquarters here in Rochester is just one of the places where they congregate and gather on a regular basis. There's also churches that they use in Rochester, and then they roll out the nonprofit organizations. They're heavily tied to Isaiah, Minnesota, which we know a lot about Isaiah, Minnesota now, and the other sister groups like Faith in Minnesota. Faith in Minnesota is a new little Olivia Bergen offshoot that, you know, they weaponize the pastors of Rochester to speak in public conferences and come to city council meetings. So you really have to hand it to the DFL. The state of Minnesota has given, apparently it's reaching $1 billion. The state of Minnesota has given $1 billion to nonprofit organizations. And the nonprofits, what could go wrong, right? Center for the American Experiment has finally picked up the story of dark money in Minnesota and public money supporting nonprofit organizations. Well, what do we got? Well, we've had the welfare fraud within the Department of Health and Human Services in terms of the daycare fraud. I should be more specific. Daycare fraud, elder fraud, transportation issues, and then again with the Feeding Our Future scandal just recently while we were all under COVID lockdown. The number of indictments against the Feeding Our Future fraudsters by the Department of Justice, the DOJ indictments started out at about 46, then they grew into the 50s, and now there's well over 70 indictments by the Department of Justice for the Feeding Our Future fraud in Minnesota. So Feeding Our Future fraud is the same names turning up over and over again. And there's about to be an issue with this in the session because the DFL wants more money. Everything needs to be fully funded, right? Fully funded is the clue here. They always want more money. Instead of thinking, well, what we do with the money needs to be more responsible and efficient, and we need to stop allowing people to cheat the system over and over again, sometimes the same people. Inside the Department of Health and Human Services in Minnesota, the Feeding Our Future fraud alone was another $250 million in your tax money that was blown. And 4 or 5 of those businessmen are here in Rochester, and they're still in business in Rochester. Those indictments need to be followed through on, and these people should not be allowed to have future contracts with the state of Minnesota. They should not be given any public funding after they participate in fraud, waste, and abuse against the people of Minnesota, taking away our hard-earned money, our value, stealing our value that we create in the world. They should never again be allowed to be in business of receiving state funds. And that I think is it's a no-brainer. It's a real simple thing to shut down right away. So feeding our future fraud is got the hands of nonprofits all over it. Public dollars being squandered. So anyway, bunch of different topics going on today. In the new DFL legislative session, I'll be touching on some of the bills, the specific bills that they are introducing in the coming legislature. And I hope to see you guys next time. Let's all do better and let's get to work. And everybody remember, if you are working, you got to work a lot harder because you got to pay more taxes to support all of this stuff. So keep your nose on the grindstone, keep your feet on the ground, and keep reaching for the stars, Rochester. Everybody have a great day, okay?